Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Dice Cult for episode 208 of On the Backs of Gods. I am your DM, Jillian, and we have our players here today. Same as always, we have Kyle, Matt, Katie, Josh, and Greg. I'll go ahead and do what I'd like to say is a quick recap, but I feel like we've hit like a peak moment, so we might have a lot of recapping to do. Um, our party here has been in search of the cultist Bosch, who is intent on ending life on the continent. Eventually, is able to track him down to his big magnum opus moment where he has these batteries full of this corrupted energy and is going to use it to explode a bunch of connected trees in the area and start this sort of apocalypse scenario. You guys arrive. The first time you are felled when the goddess Yord is summoned, the goddess of an unpopulated Earth. Uh, the wizard Alyona decides, hey, actually, guys, come back. I'm not actually in the mood to deal with all this. Uses a wish to take you guys back a day before the event so that you have time to prepare. Once again, you all fly back in, this time with more information, hoping to accomplish your goals. The assumption that people will die, the big assumption that certain people will die. And you all fly in, engage in your combats, and quickly start dispatching like the cultist Bosch scenario, taking out one of his generals in the first round. She doesn't even get a turn, um, and doing a good bit of damage to Bosch himself. Um, and you take this time to, instead of like the first time, killing the flame, which is an attachment of the shadow, which is attached to Roshan. This time, ooh, because you feel bad about it, uh, this time you decide that you're not going to kill her. And sadly, after you did kill her, it's like I remember that kind of scenario. Maybe not exactly remembering what happened in that moment, but you both were willing to tell her that you did that, which is not her favorite, to be betrayed then murdered. So she decided to betray then murder you, which is only fair. First, she helps you fell Bosch, making sure that he cannot summon his goddess, and then tells you that she has bloodlines to end, mostly yours, and is content to like it does not seem she can be convinced that not killing you is something on the table, as she is too scorned. And she is too scorned by Nana's bloodline, which happens to be Ave's bloodline. And the Flame, who is kind of a painting, painting of a memory of Golveg. Golveg seems to blame Ave for what happened to her. Uh, and that just happened when Ave was born. So take that as you will. And she's like, well, actually, your whole bloodline's fucked up. And I got to do that for Golveg, even if I'm not really her. So you all engage in combat with the flame or the tether. And she seems to be this kaleidoscope of realms put together, and seems to be able to pull from them to attack you. You end up getting 20,000 gold from this encounter as some portal opens up and gold spills out a couple times. Um, Roshan goes in and starts trying to dismantle the orb that she absorbed to make herself more powerful so she could exist without being tethered to somebody. Good for her. Um, but eventually, um, she is felled, and while she is falling, dark arms lift and encapsulate her eyes, causing her to scream fear. That's all it is. It's just fear. And when she dies, she is pulled in by these arms. And you have felled your enemies, the allies that you brought with you to this main battlefield, the trifecta. Um, they survived and have already burned Sunny's gross, icky new body. And Gunhild sadly gave a poison to Sunny, and then Sunny said Uno reverse and gave her a poison. And so that happened. And then you guys were like, well, let's do just a quick look around, and then maybe we should check in on everybody else. The team ladies, Thor, Maggie, Gressa, arrive on the scene unharmed, Orban spectral hand, and are like, easy peasy lemon squeezy, not a problem. And Roshan continues to do sendings to people on Russ's team, and none of the sendings land. Every single sending does not land. And eventually, you all decide to turn it back into mist, fly across the forest, and that is where you stumble into a figure making their way towards your direction. You guys split up. This figure is Russ, who is handling the orb, which was fully supposed to kill him. And it seems it is. It seems to be doing that actively. And it seems it kills him dead, and then this smoke that billows from his mouth straightens him back up and keeps him moving forwards. Um, Fen, at the scene of the incident, um, finds signs of a struggle, signs of a combat, finds a couple items, but like there are no bodies to be found, there are no pieces. It just, it's almost just like nothing happened here. Like if you're looking close, you can tell, but it's almost like just everything got wiped out, just in full nothing. Um, Eventually, after team deal with orb gets on it, you guys are able to free Russ from his connection to the orb, and he drops dead immediately, um, to which Keld drops down to revivify him, and he comes back to life. Keld is the only one who realizes he has not yet to be able to cast revivify before Russ is up again. uh, Russ is distraught. um, That's, I think, just the encapsulation of that. He is distraught. His entire team is dead. You eventually, all at your own paces, meander back to the center. A mansion is brought up, Worry's End by Roshan. The teams go inside. Fen cures Gunhild of her poison, and the hot iron takes her to the cabin inside of the mansion. And Roshan becomes a bartender, and Keld becomes a chef, and Fen and Nyx and Russ pick up a bunch of gold, and Nyx is now the mother of a corrupted, nasty goose snake monster, who seems to be blind and kind of lobotomized a little bit. It doesn't seem well, but she has that. And yeah, the coins are collected. There are people inside enjoying a meal and a drink. Roshan gets to inform Nana that, hey, I know you knew Golveg was dead, but also it happened when Abe was born. There you go. And like a little pat on the head for that. Um, but on a on a brighter note, hey Keld, would you tell me about the beautiful meal that everybody's enjoying?
Yes, the brighter note. I feel like there's kind of a gradient on this big table of a nice little brunch, some brunch offerings. Got like a bunch of eggs, bacon, toast, that sort of situation. And then as you get further down the table, we've got more like there's a big pot of soup loaded with vegetables and all that good stuff. There's bread and cheese everywhere. We've got some roasted meats, probably, maybe some birds or something for those who need their protein. Probably some roasted mushrooms and stuff. All kinds of good stuff.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you guys have accomplished your goal. Um, Everybody getting out of this alive was a long shot. This was a very dangerous mission, and you accomplished what you set out to do. You defeated Bosch, you stopped these batteries from killing thousands upon thousands of people, and you stopped the tether, whether a good thing or not. Good for Nana's bloodline, I suppose. But stopped her from being able to exist. And yeah, and you're 20,000 gold richer. That's something to always keep in mind. Enjoy that, I suppose, a payday.
Somehow we
Um,
got paid.
And you got paid
20,000
for
gold
it.
makes a lot okay, you know?
Yeah. Wow, I feel better. Weird.
Oh, so strange. I feel
Hmm.
compelled to go and buy things to feel more better.
Yeah. At this point, Nyx, Fen, Russ come into the mansion, and Nyx, you feel Russ's body immediately like tense up, and you can feel like his breath begins to get like heavy, and he pushes his way back outside after scanning the room.
Yeah, that makes sense. She'll probably stay inside for a bit just to eat quick, small things and then follow him outside.
Yeah.
He's not allowed.
You gotta bring him some food.
I don't know if the food can come out if it was made with mansion magic.
Shit.
Yeah.
Russ, get the fuck back in here.
I made a nice meal.
In our efforts to recover all that gold, was there anything else left behind by any of the Bosch or anything where we, were there weapons or items or anything like that?
I mean, you're welcome to go dig through his ash pile. Nobody specifically requested it.
Okay, well, yeah, Finn will poke around a little bit more you know, just to see what else is out there. I don't think he's got anything immediately to do. He'll grab a couple sticks of bacon, and go out there.
Sure. You head out. Nyx, you're grabbing a quick bite. Currently, Ms. Roan, the mother of the sworn, is having a conversation with the ladies, which, kind of like it fizzled out for a moment, like when Russ came in, and then like picks back up again. And you see like Ms. Roan kind of like looking in the direction Russ came and like it's like this like approving nod. And she says like to the ladies, but like loud enough so that other people could hear. If he is a good leader, there's nothing you could say to him right now to make him feel better. His fault or not. And she kind of shrugs. If he's a bad leader, could probably make him feel better. Sometimes you lose a squadron. And picks back up again and like grabs her drink and just like casual flow of conversation. Um Gunhild and the hot iron are in the cabin still. They haven't come out. Um Everybody else NPC wise besides Russ is inside. Is there anything else anybody would like to do? You have the whole day at your disposal.
A whole day. If I've gotten a short rest,
Mhm.
and you can decide if Roshan serving people is good enough for a short rest. I'm not trying to get hit points, just spells.
Well, I would leave that to you. Do you think Roshan got a short rest?
I think that there's not enough people here
Mm.
to to serve to prevent
This
that.
is
So I
no
think he'll have one.
Sunday brunch rush. Let
No.
me be real.
Okay, then you
Um,
were able to get that rest.
then he would step outside and send first one to Riven,
Okay.
and he's going to ask, "Are you still out there? Bosch is dead. We're still here where he made his final stand." And that's it.
I'm fine. He came to the camp. I got out just in time. Good. And Roshan, there's a moment in your mind where you can almost feel that you sent this message, could have sent this message in another time, and it would have not made purchase.
Whew.
It's the Toodaloo timeline.
Hey, what a trade. What a beautiful trade, right? You guys got Riven.
Yeah.
You may have lost Brynja for it, but you got Riven.
Yay. Well, I think Roshan would make a point to tell Nyx and Keld, because they were the ones who were the only ones who really had contact with her. And when he sees them next, but then would also reach out to Egil. And I've counted, so you don't have to if you don't want to, but Roshan will say, "It's done. Bosch is dead. Can I use your circle to get home with Nana and Fen? I miss you, and I miss home."
Currently dealing with my own sort of cataclysm. Give me a week, I can get you the circle. I'd like to be done soon.
So was that in reference to the one at Eagle's place in Golunder?
He said he'd get you a circle.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll talk again later. Because I don't have any more spell slots that I'm going to use today. Well, not for an hour anyway.
I was like, wow. I was like, but this list of sendings I have says otherwise,
Yeah.
Joshua.
I mean,
But
there's a few sendings I can think of that some of us may want to send.
well, while Roshan's waiting an hour, is there anything else anybody wanted to do while they're enjoying their brunch or afterwards on this beautiful day?
I can feel Mac thinking.
I think that Nana would maybe bring up to the group quietly, like our crew, maybe not loud enough to like be broadly heard by the ladies as well. Just kind of what do you all think the odds are of finding that poor horse out there?
I believe it can be found if it's out there. You and I could track it without much trouble. It's only been a few hours. Is it the best way to spend our efforts? That's for everyone to decide.
If Nyx is still here, she gone?
I mean,
She
I'll
could be
say,
there.
listen, I'm gonna say you just caught everybody like as
Okay.
they
Yeah.
were leaving. And you're like, hey,
Okay.
hold on, hey,
Real
hey,
quick,
hey,
just before you all
horse.
split, give me a little second. I just want, let me pick your brain. Looking to Nyx then, she might ask, would it be of any comfort to us?
I don't know. I'm gonna say no because it's the horse.
I don't like to think of the poor thing just
Say
out there.
no because it's the horse.
Yeah, well,
I don't know what else you're looking
I mean,
for.
I understand
He's-
it's hardly a,
He-
it's no substitution, but I,
It might cause him more pain than good feelings.
right. If nothing else, I'd not feel at ease with it just wandering out in the wilderness. I mean, alone.
Welcome to go look for it. I can't promise it's a thing that'll help him
Right.
right now.
For the horse's sake, perhaps, then, rather than Russ's. But I figured I'd ask.
If you'd like to go, I've got a got use of this wind walk for a bit longer. We can get there, start
You guys
tracking.
still have the original wind walk. You guys
We
did wind walk
do?
forever.
Damn.
Got wind walk for like 6 more hours, probably.
Holy
guys.
shit.
We can get to
Well-
where we need to go, Nana. Track the horse, find it, rein it in, ride it back.
Much faster than we would be able to on foot. All
If it
right, yeah, well, we've
Puts your
still
mind
got
at
it.
ease in any way, then let's go. We'll do it.
Yeah, yeah.
How did you guys get the horse to wind walk the first time?
How did we get the horse to wind walk the first
I'm
time?
not gonna think on it too
I
hard.
don't-
Anywho,
You
you
let it
guys walk
happen.
outside.
Yeah, no, it's fine. Nana's a
not
horse
gonna
girl.
think
She'll
on
be able
it.
to persuade this thing.
I don't know how we got the horse to be like, now I will magically change into mist. But you guys leave.
The
to
bond
go-
between a horse and his rider, you know.
Well, currently don't have that. You two go outside. During this time, Fen, you can start poking through the ash pile. Give me investigation.
Ooh. 24.
I don't know if this is good or bad. Take it as you will. There's nothing. There's some pieces of metal from clothing. There's some bone. There's nothing.
All right, that's actually kind of reassuring. Having something that helped control corruption in a way that Bosch seemed to be able to do might have been useful, but also probably not a good thing to play with for
Yeah. You
somebody
can
that
only
has no
assume
training
that
in
that
this.
was that it was just fully him. It wasn't a magic item. Seems he didn't really have magic items on his person. En natural. But you two turn to mist and head back towards the first location. Anybody else, Rashawn? I'm happy to just beat bop through all of your sendings if you're so inclined.
Roshan has one more sending before 3 a.m. So if anyone
Mhm.
else has anything, you can let me know. He wants to send a sending to Alyona and say, thank you again. I believe the problem to be dealt with. Hope you are well.
That is good to hear. I am proud of you. Bring me the orbs, Jarlsbecker.
Yeah, and then Roshan will say, yes, ma'am, to the world, and then go back inside and continue serving people beer.
She's
Hmm.
powerful enough, she probably hears it on the wind.
You never know.
You never
That's
know.
why he's polite.
Just in case.
Are you saying you have
Nyx.
another sending left?
Mm,
Yeah, I can send one for you.
I think Keld would like to update the folks.
Then Roshan would ask, mom or dad?
Probably mom. Seems right.
And Roshan will sending her and say, your children are safe. The hot iron is safe. Russ isn't doing too well. But we're all alive.
I'm glad to hear you're alive. I hope you'll come visit. Tell them they don't have a choice.
And Roshan will pass along that information.
Mhm.
He says, yes, ma'am, to the world, because he knows better than to not be polite.
All right. Well, that's settled.
Didn't think we had a choice. Before Nyx goes outside, she would, when Roshan comes to talk to them, one of the 2 times, I don't know, time's weird.
Mm.
Before she goes out to get rest, we'll stop and Roshan.
I think he quietly catastrophizes to himself.
She'll make him sweat for a second, and then she'll just give him a hug. You made the right choice. I shouldn't have known. It would have been bad.
He'll slump in your arms. But then after a good 20 seconds, he'll return the hug and just say, thanks.
Mm-hmm. I have to go check on him. Can you watch my friend Goose? And we'll hand you the pot.
A pot of goo.
No, that's not goo. Goose.
You watch as you're like, oh, it's a pot of goo. How interesting. And you watch as the head of this snake-like creature like pops out and like kind of like lolls to the side and its eyes go cross. They are like just glazed over. They are misty and this thing cannot see. And its body looks like it's like scarred with light. It has like almost that kaleidoscope kind of like singeing on it. And it just, you watch it like lean forward and sort of like its body touches against the edge of the pot and it's like, oh, can't go any further. And then it keeps like kind of gently bopping into the pot.
Does Goose need food?
I have no idea yet.
All right.
We'll find
All
out.
right. You
Pat
go.
its head.
No instructions at the pet store.
Take care of Russ.
Also, I don't know if you're gonna visit that library anytime soon. I can't go in there. If you could try to research this smoke thing that's coming out of him, that'd be fantastic. So I'm never gonna find out what it is. Unless somebody else goes.
I think ideas begin formulating in Roshan's head, and he'll say, yeah, I think there's some work I could do there.
Thanks. She'll leave him with Goose, then go outside.
I think Roshan half entrusts the care of Goose to the mist, and half just checks in. But I don't think things change with Goose. I don't think Goose gets better or worse.
No, Goose is currently stagnant in how good and or bad they are. I mean, it is very apparent. There is no ifs, ands, or buts on this, Roshan. This is a corrupted creature. This is an entity purely made of corruption. You're not even sure if there's bones in there. There's probably no brain. There's nothing going on in there. It is just a bunch of goo that on like a normal day, and you saw on a normal day, like 30 minutes ago, would be happy to have beat the shit out of you. But currently, it seems very docile and unwell. Those things are probably tied together.
I think Roshan will set it on the bar so he can keep an eye on it from wherever he is serving people, and then he will tell the mist, tell me if anything changes, and we'll just motion over at Goose and then go about
Goose
his
is the
duties.
tip jar.
Gross tips.
Nobody will mess with those. Just try to steal those tips.
When Ms. Roan comes up to get a drink, she seems to actually like hate Goose. Seems like upset that Goose gets to exist, but has decided this isn't her house and she doesn't make the rules, and she's gonna let Goose live. But if she had seen Goose outside at the right time, Goose would not be here. So got lucky on who found Goose first. But so she is like, I'm just not gonna look at it, and goes back over to enjoy hanging out in this mansion. Nix, is there anything you wanted to do outside besides be with Russ, or is it just being outside with Russ.
I'm assuming it's mostly quiet, so she'll probably spend the time looking through the journals and
Okay.
doing a lot of thinking.
Okay. Yeah, he just seems to sit there quietly. Meanwhile, zooming through the air as mist, Nana and Fen make their way back to the original or the first site of where one of the batteries was. You can see those fissures in the ground. You can see that there was certainly a scuffle here to some degree. That's kind of about it, just at a first passing glance. If you're looking for horse tracks, I'll need survival checks.
Hell yeah. What was yours again? I'm positive yours is better than mine.
I got a plus 12.
Yeah. I'll help you if you won't.
Sure, I'll take your help.
I will give my help. We're traveling in the same stream of air.
Help is appreciated. 26.
Oh, you have to become people to do this. You guys
Oh,
become
do we?
people.
Okay, fine. Okay.
And begin this
that.
investigation.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
26 to survival.
There are definitely apparent horse tracks. You can kind of follow the scene. You can see where it looks like a horse was standing. Somebody like jumps off of the horse, like the shoes dig in deep into the dirt, and then the horse runs off in a direction. And you are able to begin pursuit if you're so inclined.
Yeah. It is definitely Nana's inclination, and she will follow those tracks.
A fair bit of daylight left. Let's find this thing while we can.
I'd very much like to, sooner rather than later.
Yeah. Fen, you're also able to pick up on that there is probably like you can follow the humanoid footprints that jumped off of the horse, and you see that they end at a fissure.
Well, that at least might have been a quick way to go. Should we give it any further investigation? Is a deep fissure, shallow fissure? Does it still have lava in it?
There's nothing in it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
It's in the places that you see the deepest, maybe like your height, double your height in like the occasional spot, but you can like look into it and see that there's nothing there.
And the last time that these fissures popped up, these were like some kind of dimensional rifts, which very much were not recoverable upon falling into, as I recall.
You can assume you didn't fall in. So
No, did not fall in, but it very much seemed much dicier than the previous versions
Yeah.
of the fissures that we encountered.
Yeah.
So, well, if we think there'd be anything else to be gained from looking closer, then certainly, but I don't know that there's very much that we could learn that would be of help.
I'm not sure either. I think you and I are the right ones for tracking down a horse and bringing it back. I'm not sure we're the right ones to make conclusions on just about anything else about where interdimensional rifts end up or the survivability thereof. Don't even know what the smallest amount of material is that someone could be revived from.
Well, that would be something that Nyx would be able to speak to, I'm sure, but
Well, again, we're not the best ones for this. If we find one of Randall's hairs in his saddlebag, is that something that would be useful to us?
Maybe. I mean, it was enough to find Gunhild by, so who knows? maybe.
We'll keep our eyes open for anything potentially useful, but
Mm.
let's find this horse.
Yeah, I don't think there's much else to be gained here. So, onwards.
Could always come back if we need to at a later date.
Yeah, no reason not.
Sure. You guys continuing on foot?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, I feel like it would be difficult for us to follow a single horse's, like, tracks through forest as wind.
Sure. You guys continue forwards, uh, moving your way through the forest. It is easy enough to follow horse tracks. It's not as if the horse was trying to stealth, and horses are heavy.
And they
So
are usually shodden with metal horseshoes.
you got this. There you go. They got
It's my
hoosh.
turn to goomble bubble the words.
Horse got hoosh. But you
That
are
one.
able to keep up with these tracks easy enough, making your way forward. I would say about 30 minutes tops of walking around. You see a beautiful black horse still set up for battle, like this beautiful, strong looking war horse. Um, in this spot, and just like kind of like pushing at some snow and like trying to get at some of the grass underneath.
Ah, I was bound to be hungry, poor thing. I think Nana will try to approach the horse gently, slowly. I would like to think that she had, prior to the end days, would have at least like introduced herself to this horse. I think the
You
horse
have
is
met this
aware
horse
of her.
before.
Okay, so the horse is familiar with me. I am not
The
stranger
horse
to
has
horse.
seen you before.
Okay, so
At minimum.
Nana will be gentle, friendly, offers, a piece of rations, an apple or something from her pack. Hello there. Hey, you hungry? Come on. Come on.
Go ahead and give me animal handling.
Okay. Nice, nice, nice. Okay. That's 19.
Okay. It takes the horse a moment to like feel comfortable with the situation, but eventually ends up taking this apple and then is just sort of like looking around and vibing in the space.
Okay. I think Nana will take some time to like pet the horse, calm it, get familiar with it, let it get familiar with her, and then kind of look to Fen. Do you think we should, I don't know, head straight back, or maybe, I don't know, take... Let's get back to the others, perhaps, and figure out what to be done with the poor thing after.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it'll take a rider other than Randall, or if it's just best led, but we should get going as soon as we can.
Yeah. If it seems like the horse is more comfortable being led, then Nana will probably do so. If it seems like the horse could do with a rider to help guide it with our wind walk, I think she'd make that judgment call, but...
Okay, so we have 3 tiers here of either the horse need be led, the horse can be ridden and led, or you can convince the horse how to wind walk again. So how about you go ahead and give me an animal handling?
Okay. Let's see what we got. Yeah. Ooh. 23?
Sure. The horse wind walks again.
Oh, this
canonically,
horse
this
needed
horse
some
can
extra
be wind walked.
rations. Yeah.
You certainly have to like ride it and be like, listen, horse, follow me
okay.
on this one.
Follow
So it's
me.
just
You know
wind
how to
on
ride.
wind moving through space. And you wind walk back with a horse and are able to then convince the horse to stop being wind and be a horse again. And all of it makes sense and is good. And you
If Randall
arrive back
managed
with a
it,
horse,
I feel like Nana could manage it.
and you land back in the space. You take a minute to turn back, and you sort of like take a look over. Like, this is a beautiful saddle. Like, this horse, first off, spoiled and looks like it's spoiled. But you can see sort of charred into the side of the saddle. It says Hester.
Hester. Lovely. Beautiful name. Well, I've got a friend for you to talk with for a time called Thick Biscuit. Very friendly. You two can get acquainted and take your rest, right? Come on. Thank you, Fen. Thank you for going with me.
It was no problem. Fenn's gonna. Yeah, Fen will just go inside and have the breakfast that he didn't eat.
So are you taking the horse inside?
Yeah, because the stable facility of the mansion is inside, and I figure that's where Thick Biscuit is hanging out.
Thick Biscuit would not be there. You can't leave things in the
Right.
mansion. So Thick Biscuit's
That's
back in
true.
Jarlsbecker.
Yeah, Thick Biscuit would be back in Jarlsbecker, but at
But
least
you
like
can
there's
bring Hester in and
I can
put
bring
her
Hester
in the
in,
stables.
and the mansion can bring Hester some oats and things.
Yeah. You enter with a horse who is like, sure, I will walk through this door of nothing. I am fine with that also. And will enter into that space and be taken to the stables. Um, anything else today, guys? Anything else on this fun day where you guys are victorious? You guys saved the continent.
Just a 3 a.m. sending.
Yeah, it's like it's
Anything
mostly
before 3
sendings
a.m.?
I have popping in my head, but like since that's not till 3 a.m., that's gonna be tomorrow's
Oh no, that's a
Nana business.
specific sending.
Oh, that is one. Oh, I see. So there are more in between.
Yes.
Oh, I see. Okay. There are at minimum. See. Nana wants to send to Valder, to her mom, and to Hertha. Get them updated on the situation. And let them know that hopefully we'll be able to come home soon, at least for a visit.
Roshan will tell them that.
Okay. Those 3 sendings are sent along. Very similar, like, responses of like, that's good to hear. I'm glad you're safe. Can't wait to see you. That sort of setup.
I think that if when Nana does have that done, I think she does kind of conclude with Roshan like, how did they sound? Do they seem like they're all right?
You sounded fine.
Good.
Eager to see us.
I'm really hoping I'm going to be able to.
What do you mean?
A quick question for Jillian.
Mm.
Is Nana able to speak of the Hag deal openly, or is that
Yeah.
still okay?
It was never a she couldn't talk about it thing.
Got it. It was just more like could not really concentrate on that until after the whole Bosch thing was taken
It's
care
kind
of.
of like how your brain is like, I
I need to
fully think of
compartmentalize.
death, you know?
Yeah,
Where it's
yeah.
like, well, I'm not sure if I can die. And I'm not going to think about it really hard right now. That kind of thing. But it's like you could still talk about that concept. You can still talk about death. But it's like it wasn't like something just like looming at the forefront of your brain.
Mm-hmm. I just... What I gave the hag in order to be able to keep Nick safe and finish this mission, I traded to her the ability to see my loved ones again, to see home. So, I mean, it doesn't feel like I can't physically walk there. It doesn't occur to me that there's any reason I shouldn't, but...
Okay, so Roshan is doing mental gymnastics to see, like, do I count as a loved one? Can she not see me?
Talking to
Uh,
nobody.
Do you want me to dig up the
Yeah.
literal words from that session? I can go do that if you need me
No,
to.
I think Roshan is just confused.
Yeah.
Because it's obvious that you can see and
Mm-hmm.
interact with him, and
Right.
so he's not sure where the magic lies. And I think he just says, hags are tricky.
Yeah.
They'll always do what hurts the worst within the bounds of their word.
Yeah. That's what I'm worried about.
I don't know if you can go home, but I was planning on. Well, I was planning on using magic to get us to Galunder tomorrow, but it sounds like, I don't know. I have to talk to Egil more.
Okay. All right. Well, if you wind up going, at least let me try.
Yeah. I don't think you're a risk to anyone else other than yourself.
You think so? Really?
Well, the magic of pacts and bargains is based on wording more than it is intent, and if you said then that you can't see your loved ones and can't go home, then you should be prevented, but I don't think that would prevent anyone else around you from doing so.
Okay. All right. I'm trying to remember exactly how it... Okay. It was... I think it was... The deal would be I could not return home. And in exchange, I'd have strength enough to do what I said. So...
Well, what do you at this moment consider home?
I mean, Galanda. I mean, I love them woods, and they welcome me with open arms. But
Oh no, what if Nana can't go to Dimwoods?
Oh no, anywhere she likes sufficiently she gets banned from.
fuck, that'd be so sad.
Well, I don't know what to tell you. I'm sorry.
That's all right. As, especially after all the tether threatened. I don't know. I can't see the rest of my family die because I was careless. I can't.
I think Roshan would interrupt her with a hug and just tell her in her ear, we'll figure this out. Sorry that it's scary, but maybe Nyx can teach you how to, I don't know, scrying sounds weird. We'll figure something out, Nana. Don't worry. There's magic, and magic is nothing if not a giant loophole.
I hope so. I hope so. Just gotta be careful we don't hang ourselves with them. Can't wind up like Ave, right?
Speaking of, I'd like to speak to your mom about Ave and his birth.
I'd like to speak with her about that very same thing, and if I can't go, then I trust you to speak with her for me, if you could. Maybe take her a letter for me.
Of course. We've got time.
Yeah.
Just relax. We saved the world. Roshan says that and then feels the crushing weight of reality, like, oh,
yeah.
Well, yeah.
And at that point, I think Nana, returns the squeeze of the hug by double, and just hugs Roshan very tightly. Still mad at you. But we are gonna figure this out. And I can't thank you enough.
Well, I'm not mad at you.
Magnanimous of you. Thanks. It was just my bad judgment. Fucked it all up. It's okay.
I think we made the choices we made and we survived. I don't think it's fair to ask us to do any better than we did, because the last time we did this, none of us survived. So don't forget to take the win where it's been won.
Hard to argue with that. Try.
And Roshan will reach into the mist and get another beer.
Mm-hmm.
It's noon drinking time
Yep.
here on
It's
Trauma Day.
it's day
drunk
drink
noon.
o'clock. It's classy if it's a mimosa.
So you guys talk. Kel, is there anything you wanted to do on this fine day?
Yeah, I think he wants to check in with probably first Gunhild and the Hot Iron. See how's she looking.
Sure. You make your way over to your home. Inside, you can see the hot iron sitting next to your couch. mid-conversation with Gunhild, who is kind of like propped up, laying on the couch. And the hot iron welcomes you when you come in, and then like you can see the confusion of like welcoming you into your own maybe home,
Yeah.
and kind of is like, I don't know.
Welcome
It's all
home-ish.
confusing.
This place is strange, I know.
It's something.
Familiar or not.
Yeah, it's like it looks like the inside of your home, but like there's something maybe sterile to it. I don't know. I can't find the right word. There's just something doesn't exactly feel right.
Yeah, I know what you mean. But it does make me excited to go home. I let my folks know of everyone's condition.
Is it all right? I offered Gunhild that if she needed time to recover, she could come stay at Demwoods. And Gunhild turns and looks at you and just like has this just big old goofy smile on her face. She's like, it was very nice of him to offer. Is that okay with you, Keld? Me coming to your place? Getting to meet your family?
Is that something you want to do?
I don't know if I have anywhere else to go. The hot iron's like looking between the two of you, like, I wasn't expecting this level of tension, and don't know what's going on.
Can I insight her? I don't know if that'll help
Sure.
anything.
I definitely have her.
As far as the hot
character
iron knew, we were friends.
sheet up. You guys have told her nothing about
Doesn't
Gunhild.
know. I was hoping she would still be asleep so I could talk to him.
No.
Alas, she has recovered.
She has recovered.
My characters. 1 second. You can go ahead and roll insight. While
Perfect.
I slowly scroll through all of these characters.
24.
Ooh, that's pretty good.
Squinting.
Where are you, you silly bitch? I always struggle to find her. Let me type her in. Oh, it's all moving so slow. I'm gonna see if I'm even in the vein of getting near numbers. Oh, of course, at the high numbers, I do need the math.
Oh no.
1 second. You got a 24?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see what. She's fucking hard to read.
Let's see.
She doesn't seem crazy currently, but you know, maybe she's just really good at keeping that in right now. But it's definitely, she is poking at you. That is apparent. Her
Yeah.
demeanor, the way she is saying things, she's obviously poking at you, but you cannot tell past that.
I think Kelda's going to have an external crisis.
We all see it. It is external.
Externally existential.
Keld just crashes out entirely.
Keld's brain shuts off, and his body goes limp, and he just stands there for a while. They're like, okay, man.
Shit.
Cool talking
Okay.
to you.
We can talk about it more in the morning, but if that seems necessary, she'll
Hot
be
iron
welcome.
nods. Gunhild smiles at you.
He'll nod. Are you guys hungry?
I think I could eat. Gunhill, do you feel good enough to get up, or should I get you something? And she like thinks about it for a second. Could you get me a plate? And like he nods and then like walks past you and he like kind of like claps you on the back and then walks out of the house. He's nice.
He is, isn't he? You're acting awfully nice.
Maybe I'm in a good mood.
That'd be nice.
Yeah.
I think we all accomplished what needed to be done.
Yeah.
Do you feel that way?
I did what I set out to do.
Good.
Can't wait to see your home. I'm sure it's lovely.
Well, it looks a lot like this.
Huh. Well, that kind of ruins the surprise, doesn't it?
There's a lot more, though, so plenty of surprises.
It's like a trailer.
Can't wait for the surprises.
I don't know if I trust you.
That's probably real smart of you.
If I ask you to leave, will you?
I'll probably make a show out of it, but
You seem to enjoy that.
well, Ing needs something.
Are you his entertainment now?
I'm all he has. And vice versa, I guess.
I'm a little concerned about what he finds entertaining.
Well, he didn't like how it all went, but you know, that was to be expected.
Yeah. Suppose he wouldn't.
I mean, he did want me to go back though, so you can, I guess, thank him that your little friends aren't dead.
You mean towards the end?
Yeah, I think I was done, and then Ing had a bunch of shit to say, and I said fine, and then I went back, and that was a bad choice. But you know, whatever.
I see. Seems like a good choice to me, but
Well, yeah, for everybody else, that was the worst shit I've ever felt in my life.
Nana's felt it too.
So you kicking me out or not?
I'm not sure. like to give people the benefit of the doubt, but I still feel like there's this darkness inside you that I can't trust.
Well, if you're gonna kick me out, don't do it in the middle of the fucking night.
Hmm.
So you either do it now or you don't.
Stay the night.
Okay. And she puts her feet up on the couch. And then the hot iron comes in with a couple plates.
Eat up.
She gives you a wink as you go.
Keld's gonna leave.
Oh, thanks so much. As the plate is handed to her.
Not so bad a decision if
hate
you
it.
get carried around and waited on by the hot iron.
It's really kind of working out for her right now. Yeah, Keld.
Later at bedtime, Keld sleeps right between them.
And this is where I'm sleeping, guys. Hey. Hey.
Thor, I need you to hang on.
Yeah.
This is important. I can't let
No,
this
no,
happen.
Thor, come on.
Get in the middle.
We're all
you
sleeping
too.
right here.
Okay. Anything else before 3 a.m.? It's a big window, but
Fen would be keeping an eye out for an opportunity to find Nyx alone. Maybe not necessarily alone, but like just not with Russ there. I know that might be a tall ask, but if she goes to
Nyx,
grab a
does that
drink or
occur?
something.
I'm sure at some point she goes inside to grab a snack or something and then would be going back out immediately, but you could catch her in that period.
Nyx,
Mm.
I wanted to say thank you. And he kind of like glances down at his hand. Thank you again for not giving up on me. And we've just gone from having everything in the world to do and now very little to do. I don't know if you saw, Nana was able to bring back Randall's horse. I don't know if that matters at all to Russ. I feel the need to spend my time and effort helping you accomplish what you need to, extending that to Russ. Whether he wants to see me or not is a different story, but whatever we can do to help, I certainly make myself available to you to do that. Deeply in your debt, although there are some other debts that I need to attend to at some point, but we can talk about those later. But in the meantime, thank you again, and whatever you need, I'm here.
That's not a problem. I don't think there's much anyone will be able to do to help with what I'm going to do next. I'm sending. I asked Roshan if he'd look into things at the library. If you want to also read things at the library about the smoke, you are happy to have anybody go read for me. Outside of that, I don't know what's going to help him right now, other than time and hopefully getting him his friend back.
Getting her back, if we can, might offer some other insights. We didn't find any bodies, any traces of them.
They're gone, and she's the only one that would maybe come back.
Okay.
from what he told me.
All right. I'll speak with Roshan about any library trips that he's got in mind. In the meantime, whatever you need.
You're welcome to help carry things from the store. I have to buy oil and other things.
Certainly.
But it's gonna mostly rely on me, I think. I have to finish figuring it out. So, thank you.
Yeah, if you need me to carry items, hold them, hold the flashlight, whatever.
I appreciate it.
I know you're busy tending to him. I'm here if you need me. Thank you, Nix.
I shall head back outside because I'm assuming he's still sitting there.
Yeah, he's not going anywhere.
Eventually, she will like try to find a time when people aren't in the way and can get him inside to the room so that he can be not outside freezing.
It is certainly a task.
Yeah.
It seems he does not want to.
Mhm.
But eventually can be led. This will probably be closer to the sun setting and it getting cold. That you're like, all right, hey,
Maybe now.
we go on a little walk over here a little bit. Um, yeah, and for this moment, victorious. We'll go ahead and take our 10-minute break. Thank you for being here. Go get a snack and a drink, and we'll see you guys in 10 minutes.
Thank you, 10.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Dice Cult for episode 208. I just looked at it, 208 of On the Backs of Gods. We just took our 10-minute break. The party is settling after winning their fight against the end of the world and is preparing for the fact that, like, there is nothing terribly pressing in front of them. You know, there are things to do, certainly. There are things that are important, but, like, nothing as pressing as the world's gonna probably end in a couple hours, you know? So we're past that, at least for now, you know. Fingers crossed. But that's where we are currently. Is there anything anybody else would like to accomplish today?
Gild's gonna talk to Thor.
Hmm?
Just kind of get a vibe of what they want to do, where they're heading, and also just to have someone to talk about his current anxiety with.
Sure. She seems a bit intoxicated.
Nice. Wouldn't have it
No,
any other way.
yeah, I'm good. What's up?
So
Uh-huh.
I'm a bit concerned. See, in the past,
Uh-huh.
I'm worried what Gunhild's going to do. But she's threatened my family before, and the hot iron really seems to want to invite her home, and I don't know, something just doesn't feel right, but I don't know.
I mean, it's your choice. I do gotta say, if I was in your shoes, I don't think I'd be in this situation because there wouldn't be that person. You feel me?
I feel you.
But um, I I try not to take chances on those things, but now that I'm saying that, that's kind of fucked me over in the past. Is looking at things kind of flat. And she kind of holds up her hands with the gauntlets. Gotten heavy a couple times, you know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, sometimes you think maybe you're doing a good thing, and maybe you don't think about it hard enough, right? Or you don't look at it from another perspective. And you think I would with all of the preaching that Gressa does fucking constantly about look at all the different perspectives, take in your surroundings. And I'm like, yeah, totally. And then the gauntlets get fucking heavy. So I've gotten better at looking at all of it. But you have better eyes on it than I do.
Guess I can try to see if there are other angles.
Yeah, I mean, the angle could be that she wants to kill your family. Or the angle is that she wants to be somewhere nice. I don't know.
Hard to say. So difficult to read.
Yeah, some people are what, sneaky.
Very.
I think it's up to you in the end. I think you decide who goes to your house. Also, in the end, this guy could say, I am inviting her and I am taking her there. And then you can decide what you're doing with that. But
yeah. I haven't really explained any of that to him yet, so he doesn't know.
Up to you if he even should.
Guess I'll sleep on it.
Yeah. Also, there's like too many people, it feels like, in the house. Like, this seems like there's too many people in this space.
Yeah, there's never been this many people in this space.
Also, she like points over at Ms. Roan and just like, ah, like, just points and just like, ah. Did you get to watch her fight? We're devastated.
A little bit. Not enough.
Was it cool? Hell yeah.
Yeah. And she did good. She looked after Hot Iron. She seems like a good leader.
Oh yeah. That's the whole thing. Kind of the pinnacle of leadership. Yeah, I mean, pros and cons. Weigh her.
Yeah.
And then decide what you can live with.
Yeah. Where are you guys heading?
Fuck, I don't know. I mean, we were probably gonna maybe hit some hot spots. Just places to have a good time, I guess.
Nice. Well, if you guys want a little reprieve, you're welcome in Dim Woods anytime.
I'll talk to the ladies.
I'm not sure it'll be exciting enough, but
Nah, sometimes you don't want too exciting, but I mean, we'll start bitching about it eventually and have to wrap that up and go somewhere else, but also it's kind of hard to tell. I can't tell if you want to like make out or not. Just like looking at you really hard. She's like, I can't tell.
doesn't sound like a bad time.
Okay. Yeah, she'll make out. Just
Nice.
Anybody else making out tonight? What is everybody else up to?
So Fenn's. We don't need to RP this. I just want to make a point of Fenn's gonna have some beers with Danelle because she came here and risked her life and fought hard, and nobody's even talked to her since this is over. So like, Fenn's go chill, have some beers, and share war stories or something.
Yeah, she seems pretty chill with that. She tells you about the happenings in town after the town kind of exploded. Um, uh, and that kind of is the thing that spurred her to come help. Um, Getting to experience all of that and uh, yeah, I'm talking about how Olavi's group is doing a lot with the rebuilding of the town. And then sort of a jab at, you know, if there is no town, where do you make your money? So, you know, it's not all good Samaritan, but it happens to be a good thing they are doing for themselves. But yeah, she drink, she talk. You trade stories.
Yeah, Fen will thank her for her help previously, and then again now, especially. And yep, that's all I wanted to accomplish with Fen until whatever, till tomorrow.
Cool. Anything else before 3 a.m. is kind of my timeline on that.
I mean, Nana, the only things I've got on lock for Nana's day are at some point in time, she's going to take some time and groom Hester to
Okay.
calm herself. And also, Hester went out into the field into battle and has not been groomed. So, you don't put up a horse wet. So, yeah, takes some time, grooms Hester, centers herself, and at some point will also kind of maybe retreat to her room to write out some letters on the off chance that she cannot go home, so at least she can send some personal regards along with Roshan and Fen. But those are the only things I have set for her. If anybody else wanted to find her, she'd be findable, talkable, etc.
Okay. And people eventually bed down, probably in different variables, different time frames. And 3 a.m. eventually will roll around.
And Roshan will step outside to send a sending to his sister. And he says, "It's done, but I'm guessing you know that already. I think I'm going to go home. Maybe help Mom. Let me know." And I think it sounds like he wants to ask for something more specific, but he just trails off.
Let me know if you need help. I'll eventually need to swing by, talk to Russ, get the recap.
I think he'll immediately reply and say, "I think Jarl's Becker today. Maybe we'll see you."
You do not get a response. You feel it made purchase, but you do not receive a response.
All right, and that's it.
You look over and it's just, you come back in, the room's empty, and it's just Goose staring at you from across the room, taps into the pot, can't get out, doesn't understand. He is trapped.
Roshan makes a mental note to give him like a goose terrarium with soft things and
Yeah,
warmth.
Forgot I wanted to try to feed him an egg.
Some
sure.
moss lining the terrarium.
You put an egg in Goose's mouth. It moves way too slowly, like down into the esophagus.
Oh
Like it is
no.
there for too long. It is like, it's almost like watching it sink in quicksand. It
Hmm.
is, maybe Goose
I
liked
don't
that.
even know if
Maybe
he's eating.
Goose didn't. You don't know.
That is how snakes do too, so...
But it was kind of like the mouth opened and then the egg sat like on a layer of ichor and then sunk into the ichor where the throat is.
Weird.
Um,
Hmm.
uh,
Noted.
maybe that's good, maybe that's bad. I do not know. I,
It's just
Jillian,
gonna
don't know.
smell like rotted eggs later.
Yeah, you guys just put an egg to rot in there, and eventually a corrupted egg it'll be. Have a little
What?
corruption machine. But eventually people get to bed. You can have your long rest now. You're welcome. Eventually, the sun will rise and a new day begins. What are we doing on this fine new day?
Well, what is our next priority? I think at the very least, perhaps Hester ought to go back to Jarlsbecker. Not a creature for the wilds.
I think Jarlsbecker is the next step. I would like to meet with Alyona, and I know Rose wants to meet with Russ. Perhaps Egil will be done sometime soon, and he'll meet us there too. But I don't think there's anything else we need to do out here.
Right. Eagle's business, how is it faring? Do you know?
It sounds bad.
Oh dear. Related to, or seemingly of its own accord from, all this business up here?
I'd assume it was unrelated, but we haven't been able to talk much. I plan on more today after we've gotten ourselves figured out in Jarlsbecker.
I hope he's safe. Let us know if there's anything we can do. But, as for getting to Jarlsbecker, are we taking the long way or the shortcut?
That's where I have a question for the DM. This necklace of
Whoa.
prayer beads, is it a real one? Like, does it work the way it works in the book? Or is this like, these are consumables, I used them all, they're gone? Or do
It
they come
works
back
how it
gone?
works in the book.
Cool. Cool. Could get us there fast if we wanted to be.
Really?
The horse might be an issue. It worked for you before, but not sure if it will work that way again.
Would it be easier... Nyx, I won't speak for your magic reserves, but do you think it might be easier if we polymorphed the horse?
I think it depends on if we're wind walking or just going through a tree.
The wind walking seemed agreeable enough to Hester yesterday. She took all right to it, so...
I mean, it depends if you guys want to get there in 6 seconds or
Yeah,
a
that's
few
more what I was
hours.
talking about.
Yeah, true.
The
I
tree
feel like
is
6
immediate.
seconds would be better. 6
Also
seconds
got
would be nicer.
other people to get on their way in different directions. I'm not sure that the teleportation circles are going to work the way they got us here.
Right. Well,
Well, let's see where they all want to go before we decide then.
that works. I certainly don't have any need for us to ship off until we're certain that everybody's able to get where they need to be.
Yep. So basically, if you inquire with the groups, like people like Mizrone and Danelle can, if you take them to Jarlsbecker, they are aware there's a teleportation in circle in Jarlsbecker that they can use to get back, and they have access to it. So both of them can use that to get back home. The hot iron is going to have to wait until you guys go back to Dem Woods or just start walking for like a month. Uh whatever he's feeling. So he'll probably stick with you, hoping that eventually you will drop him off like you picked him up at minimum. The ladies are happy to just go back to Jarlsbecker and figure shit out when they get there.
Would you want that to be one spell slot worth of tree travel or multiple? So it's 6 seconds.
Well, it depends. I would say to get everybody through, I'd be willing to say all of you assholes can get through in 6 seconds. I'm not gonna think too hard about that.
We can coordinate it. We've fought on the battlefield together before. We
Yeah,
can
find a
manage
big
this.
enough tree. Also, Nix, you come outside. There's just like a big tree entity.
There he is.
Oh yeah.
Oh, the
There's just
boy!
a big tree,
Still
dude.
awakened, huh?
Like you realize it was him because he's in like a new spot, in like an awkward spot. Like he did not go back to where he was from. He went like towards the middle of this clearing and sat down.
Good for him.
So he's like, hell yeah. So he's content. I don't think, unless you can find a tree bigger than him, I think he's chilling here. I believe Sunny's swords might still be stuck into the ground.
I collected them off the ground yesterday and put them
Cool.
on the counter for Roshan to have a look at when he had an opportunity and some extra magic.
Yeah. So if Roshan had Identify available, then he would have been able to inform you about what the swords are capable of. So you have those. There's just a tree in a new spot. You are welcome to go back to Jarlsbecker.
Yeah. I don't think we need to waste hours traveling. So
No sense in it.
Roshan will pat the horse on the shoulder and turn it into a turtle.
nice.
Very
All right.
nice, very nice.
Hester is now a turtle.
Nana collects the turtle gently and gently cradles the turtle.
I can't believe you didn't let me roll against it. How dare you? Hester doesn't want to be a turtle. Hold on.
I understand.
Hold
I
on.
It's
understand.
a 18.
Well, give me a second. Is it a
Hester
wisdom
might be a
save?
very cantankerous horse.
It has to be doable. This horse is going to try not to be polymorphed.
That's understandable. I don't suppose I could try to assist in some fashion with my animal handling.
No, I've already been too nice with all the windwalk bullshit.
I understand.
Just
Oh,
give me another
no.
spell slot, motherfucker.
Oh boy.
Nat 20,
Wow.
baby. This
Oh,
horse looks you
shit.
Weird
dead
that
in
it
the
didn't
eye.
work.
Oh.
Oops, I didn't
Give me
cast
1
it yet.
second.
So
Nana
roll
just
again.
like, shh, it's okay. It's all right, Hester. This is just for a little bit. You'll go right back.
And then immediately turns into a turtle. But like the resilience at the beginning, and then it's like, well, what am I gonna do? Turned into a horse. Turn horse into turtle.
Brilliant, brilliant. Nana will collect turtle gently. It's all right. It's okay. Just for a little while. Gently holds the Hester, and we're ready to go.
Once everyone's by the tree, I will open it up. We can all
Yep.
go through into the middle of town in Jarlsbecker as we always do.
I mean, we don't have a
Welcome.
cult to worry about now.
Yeah. You all run through the tree into the middle of town. Everybody's here together. Ms. Roan and Danelle will kind of like be like, well, it has been very fun. Thank you
It's
for
been
the
an honor.
invite. Have a
Thank you
time.
for helping.
Of course. Need to use this for something more than partying, and like kind of like hits at her armor.
It certainly came in handy, and your skills as well. Really. We were very lucky to have you. Thank you.
You were, and you're welcome. And she will
Nana's
say her
thinking
goodbyes.
like, yeah, you bet we were.
Says goodbyes to the ladies. Danelle says just quick kind of goodbyes, like she knows you guys, but like, you know. She's like, hey, it's been real.
Yeah.
And the two
Thank
of them
you.
will split from the group, and you're left with this portion of the group.
I think Roshan says, I'm going to see if I can find Alyona. I'll meet you at the Hard Fiddle tonight.
Yeah, sounds reasonable. I actually, I had an idea about something for a set of armor. I'm probably going to head over to the Merchant Square for a little while. I don't suppose I could have just some of the purse. I seem to recall Nyx, Russ, and Fen bringing in an awful lot of gold, so I don't feel very bad asking for... Well, I hope not to spend as much as 3,000 gold, but I don't know. It really depends on what this is going to call for.
Sure, take 3,000 gold. If you
Thank
get it
you.
stolen, Nana, Fen,
Uh,
go with Nana and make sure she doesn't get stolen from.
I'll accompany Nona.
Fine.
And
I'm
Roshan
very well
flips
capable
a
of minding
fat
my business.
purse of 3,000 gold coins.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Probably have a few other thank yous to say along the way while we're out and about in town.
Yeah, at least a few. Well, if anybody else wants to go along, welcome to. Otherwise, word about you two, Nix and Keld.
I'm going to Calendula's. I was going to look at Russ to see if he's coming with.
Give
I
him my
think
best.
if you aim Russ, you can get him to go places.
Yep. All right.
Do you need money for Calendula?
I kept what I needed.
Oh, great.
That works. More efficient. Keld, you going with Nix and Russ?
I'm not sure.
With Thor?
Always an option.
Do you need an extra hand, Nix? Or do you have it covered?
You don't have to come. I've got it.
Yeah, the ladies are just going to the hard fiddle, and like the hot iron is picking up that nobody is taking him home right now. So
if he looks like he's wanting to leave right now, I can send you back right now if you want. You don't have to wait for us.
Are you sure it's not any trouble?
It's fine. Is it just how many people
Gunhild,
are going
like kind of behind him, just like looks at you.
Whatever.
It is definitely a speak now or hold your peace moment. The hot iron will be taking Gunhild through with him.
I don't see why we wouldn't head back tonight anyway if you want to go back home, Keld. I just have
we can wait for tonight as well. That's not a problem.
Let's go with that then.
Yeah.
I'm heading over there so I can get started.
Gunhild is going to lead the hot iron to the hard fiddle.
I think Keld's gonna go with them.
Okay.
He's got to get us rooms anyway. No,
Keld's
never
like,
mind. We're
I'm not
going to
doing that.
Demwoods. Nah.
She's like, what? I'm going home.
That's true.
Y'all crazy.
That's true.
I'm going home. It's past
That's
my bedtime.
Max Smooth Brain.
Yeah.
All right. The party splits. Let's start with team going to talk to Aliona, I think. We'll start there. What are you doing? How are you locating Aliona?
I think it's still early enough. We didn't linger in the morning, so I think Roshan will message her or sending her and say, I brought the orbs. Do you want to get brunch?
Already there. I like the bread here. It's good.
And I think he can't help it. And he sendings back immediately and says, I'm surprised they let you back after you spewed blood all over the table.
Do you think they're going to turn me away after that?
And then he'll make his way over.
Yeah, you can see that it is the same waitress, and that same waitress is trying to not be super uncomfortable. Um,
I
Alyona,
think
this time clothed and not covered in blood, is at the table waiting for you.
I think he'll set down the bag of holding on the table and say, "Would you like to see them now, or
Sure.
do you know what you'd like to do with them?" And then Roshan will get them out on the table.
I don't have any idea yet. And she grabs the calcified one and like picks it up and like looks at it. What the fuck did you do to this?
I think Roshan would like put a thumb in the direction of wherever the shadow seems to be, and say, "Oh, one of my shadows was pissed that, I mean, rightfully so, that last time we killed her, and she didn't want to be bound to anyone, so we killed her again."
Okay. Well, this is a new thing now. And she kind of like turns this around. It does something different, but I'll look into it. I do not know what I am going to do with these things yet, but I will take them.
Well, we owe you more than that for saving our hide.
I know. And she like reaches out and like presses her hand against just like the open air and then like turns an invisible knob and like opens like what looks like a little safe just like in space. And then puts the orbs inside and then closes it.
Um, I think I'm going to take a little time, go home, see to my mother. But if you have need of me after, I'll reach out. Uh, I appreciate your guidance as well as your knowledge.
Mm. Well, I consider us even in most things. So don't worry about it. And it's good to do something besides this. You know, it shouldn't be war all the time. Sometimes you have to pretend it isn't happening.
Yeah. Uh, I promise this is the last one, but thank you. Uh,
Well, you have given me life. You have given me a very powerful artifact, and you are not asking any questions. You're welcome.
I can start asking questions. What's his
Hi.
name again?
Who?
Uh, I think he meant the god that she danced with at the party.
Yeah. Uh, he's a bastard.
I haven't met one yet that isn't.
And yet, they sort of balance it out by giving you a bunch of very cool shit and making you powerful.
Bastard behavior.
It is. Now I'm dependent on him. Or something like that.
Well, if you ever need help with that,
Eh, I'm good. For now.
good. Because I've only
It's
killed two, like, pastel paintings of what would have been gods, not
mm,
not real things, and one that is a little delulu and turned himself into a dragon.
Well, I'll let you know if I have a problem, but currently, he's the only person who, I suppose, knows me.
I understand. And then I think Roshan would just chit chat and have a long brunch with her.
Yeah.
As long as she'll sit there and chat, I think Roshan is also happy to.
Yeah. She'll hang out for a bit and eventually will go on her way. She'll hang out and do brunch. I'll go to Team Merriment Square. You go to Last Look, which is a place where you can get custom armor and weapons. You can also just buy off the rack, but you head in. Brassus is inside. It looks like he's kind of casually going through the book at the desk. Welcomes you in.
Brassus, hello. It's good to see you. I wanted to know. She takes the circlet off her brow, Hell's Dowry. This is, strictly speaking, only borrowed, and from a godly source. I certainly would not entertain the hubris of wanting an exact duplicate of its abilities, but I wondered if someone of your caliber might be able to replicate some aspect of its benefits in an armor enchantment, perhaps?
If you describe what the item does and
Mhm.
he thinks it over and is like, are you putting it on armor you currently have, or are you interested in like getting something else, or
I would like to perhaps arrange for something custom made. Something a little bit heavier than what I've been wearing of late.
so he's
Not full
asking you if
heavy.
you want chainmail, or like he's asking what type of armor you want.
I'm going for a medium armor. I'm trying to remember what that is specifically in terms of the breakdown of which armors qualify for that. Well, technically, I have proficiency up through heavy armor, so I guess it doesn't matter.
I mean, do you want heavy armor? It's up to you.
Good question. Good question. Medium armor is good for me. Medium armor is good. So that'd be what, chain, half plate.
He seems comfortable with half plate.
Okay.
It's pricey, but
We still like south of 3,000 at that
we
level.
so getting the custom half plate will be below 3,000. Getting it with the enchantment will be more than 3,000.
Okay. All right.
So for just the, if you wanted custom half plate from Brassus, it's 2,000 gold.
Okay.
And that means you get to make it look however you like. But and if you buy it off the rack, it is 1,000.
Okay.
We have the money, Nana. We put it down as a deposit right now, down payment. Come back, pay him the rest. Get what you want.
You're not wrong. And would that be equitable with you, Brassus? I do have 3,000 gold I can put down.
I would at least start taking in the plans and preparing, but I will not start before getting all of the money. And it seems that that will be 6,000.
Whew. All right. That is...
It is, you have a very nice magic item.
Yeah, that was sort of what Nana was figuring. She was wondering exactly what kind of range this was going to entail, but that is actually less than I was worried it might be. So
we have the money. If we split it evenly between all of us, then we'd each end up with 4,000. You're welcome to 2,000 of mine.
I hardly need that, but I've got plenty, I think. I'll be back later before this evening, process with the remainder.
Yeah. And for me, I feel like we are starting to slip into downtime scenarios. So I could be like, you go get the money. This
Yeah.
is now in the works.
I feel like that's reasonable. I don't think Nana would reasonably make any kind of delay on it. So,
Okay. The custom half plate with an enchantment on it. It's going to take some time.
that makes
Um,
sense. Nana rather figured that. But by golly, we don't have a cult breathing down our necks anymore, and what else is she gonna do?
Treat yourself.
Mm.
Okay.
And,
Anything else
take back
from
the
Team
simplet.
Merriment Square?
Should we get some candy for the group?
I thought of sort of wanted to buy some flowers, honestly.
All right. Why not? Gonna visit Kareen.
We owe her thank you.
Yeah, you're right.
We owe her quite a bit more, but a thank you is what we have right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, let's go and have a look at what they've got.
Buy some flowers. Red roses, white baby's breath. And call upon Kareen.
Yeah. Are you guys just going to her house?
She kind of did say we could, if I
She
remember
did?
right.
Yeah, she seemed
Uh,
somewhat annoyed that we called after her in other ways last time.
Yeah.
So
You are let inside just as you were last time, and Corrine meets you at the door. Uh, Big smile, kind of looks over the situation and the flowers.
we accomplished what we needed to for the time being. I hope to see that things are better here and elsewhere for the foreseeable future, at least with the threat that we had been facing. We could not have done this without your help. Greatly appreciate everything you've done for us and for this community and others.
Thank you.
Your resources, your aid were pivotal in helping us accomplish this. Thank you. And Fen will bow deeply.
Nana will give a polite bow. I mean, it's not deep like Fen's. It's a polite bow.
Corrine listens, kind of like leaning in the doorway, and she smiles. I'm glad to hear that everything worked out for you. That's exciting. You know, that we're all going to be okay, and I can start worrying, I suppose, about my problems again. You paid for the teleportation services, so you need not worry about that. But I do appreciate the thank you.
We do have other things that we're hoping to accomplish, tasks that need to be done, other people to visit, give our gratitude to. I think we'll be gone from the city for a while, but I imagine our paths will cross again at some point, and I look forward to the point where it does.
Well, I would very much like you to come visit. More so when you don't need anything and would just like to visit.
I would like that too. I'm sorry if it has felt as though I only come hat in hand asking for aid. I'm sorry that this has been such a one-sided exchange of help. I hope to repay you someday for the aid that you have provided.
Well, you are very lucky you're cute.
Fen blushes. His stripes darken a little bit.
Does Nana feel like this seems genuine? How does Nana feel like this interaction feels? What's the vibe?
Roll insight.
Okay. Okay. 25.
You can feel however you'd like to about Corrine. If this isn't genuine, she is putting on quite the display.
Okay. I think Nana is just quiet, is polite and thankful towards Kareen. Doesn't have very much to contribute beyond what Fenn's already said, but, no further remarks.
And because I don't think Fen can fake anything, I don't think it's in his character to fake it, but I don't think he could fake, some sort of deception above 25. You would see that Fen is admiring of Crane, grateful, and more than a little embarrassed that it seems like every time we spend any time with her at all, she is being nothing but good and gracious to us and helpful. And that, as far as Fen knows, we've done very little in return for that. So he feels somewhat embarrassed and indebted to her based on what she has given to us and that she has not asked much of us in return.
Yeah.
You said that you had things you needed to do. Does that mean you both aren't coming inside?
We don't need to leave immediately. We just weren't planning on spending days in town.
I believe there are at least some of our party who will be moving on from town tonight or tomorrow, so...
Well, could I trouble you both for a drink?
I'd be happy to join you.
Terribly rude of me to refuse.
I agree. She smiles and turns on her heels and walks inside, leading you to the lounge, so that you can enjoy a very expensive drink with her.
Yeah.
She... Yeah. Nana, I'm going to just keep your insight going across the board.
Cool.
There are moments where she's like watching Fen and like communicating with him. And you see like just like a slight shift in her face of somebody. The best way I can just describe it is that's interesting. Like she just realized something. Like something came to mind in regards to Fen or something Fen was talking about or something in that vein. But it's just a brief flash across the face that is swiftly pulled back.
And it doesn't seem to be focused around anything specific he talks about. It's just occasionally it pops up.
I would say it happened in regards to commentary, probably around her and him or the party. So probably on that topic, if something from the party was brought up, that is what spurs this.
Okay. Interesting. Okay.
And eventually, you two can go on your way. Team, going to buy a bunch of oil from Calendula. Um, hey, there's this terrible, beautiful thing called a markup. And that is
Uh-huh.
what calendula's is.
Mm-hmm.
How much oil do you need cost wise?
It's 1,000 for the spell. So
Yeah. And you're going to need to tack on another 500 for me.
cool. That's how much I put in my
Nice.
inventory. So
Perfect. I didn't even look.
it gone.
Yeah, you buy a shit ton of like very high end
Mhm.
oils and tinctures and whatnot. And that's what
She'll-
Russ is for. You just
Yeah. Can help carry him. After I don't even think she'd go back to the end. Just check with him. Or do you want to come with me for this, or would you rather not be around?
I want to be there.
Okay. And we'll immediately lead him outside of town to where there's some nature because we're not doing this in the middle of town.
Yeah. You two walk outside of town. Walk me through this.
I think she's going to try to find somewhere that's far enough away that it feels more like they're in nature again,
Mm-hmm.
just a bit more connected. And we'll spend time clearing off the snow so that there's an actual patch of earth to get to. And like, feels bad because he just has to sit and watch all of this. And
Mm-hmm.
spends the time carving a circle into the ground with runes around it for life and death and renewal and decay, and then pulls out the flesh that she'd scraped off of the armor and starts grinding it up into some powder and combines it with different bits of the oils so that it becomes more of a thicker mixture, and will kneel on the ground in front of this circle and pour it in so that it's covering these different runes and then into the middle of the circle. Then kneel next to it, digging her hands in, start letting the energy go into the ground just while she chants in Druidic. And from the center of the circle, what kind of looks like devil's fingers, so those red mushrooms with that will grow up with 5 different tendrils over the period of this hour, and within that center a bulb will start to grow with a like mycelium veil over it, and they can see little bits of a body starting to grow in it, like first bone and then different things pushing up against the edges. And eventually when it's the time has passed, it'll start to crack open. The fingers will turn fully to black and to ash as this body falls out in front of them.
Okay. You see a figure. Caramel skin, rosy cheeks, long, dark, wavy hair on a stout little body, about 4 feet tall, maybe. A halfling woman, um, splayed out on the ground. Russ staring in confusion and awe that the earth just birthed this person. Um, but she sits up and like looks at Russ, and there is a moment where like she flinches because you can only assume from her last memory, um, probably maybe the last thing she did, um, before they are both embracing, and Russ is holding on to her and just weeping against her chest, just holding her close, while she maybe a little misty-eyed, but still ever stoic, sort of just runs her fingers through his hair and holds him. And during this, starts to like, she sees her arms and starts to take in her shape. Looks over at you and sort of gives a nod.
I think Nix would also pull out any extra clothes she has, just
Uh-huh.
kind of sets it down for her.
Yeah.
Just like, yep, there you go.
A lot of rolling on these pants, but
Yeah. Good enough for now.
But while you're like sort of setting up a nice little outfit for Brynja, you can hear Russ like talking against her, and it is just, I'm a failure. I don't deserve to do this. I don't think I can do this anymore. I'm not good enough for it. And her just holding him and occasionally like kind of something in the negative of like, that's not true. But at the moment, he seems very convinced of that.
I
And
don't think she's gonna step in and say anything. Just let them have their moment.
and eventually she realizes she is naked in the snow, and goes to put on the clothes that you've laid out. Getting used to looking upwards at people, seems confused by that. But we'll walk back to town with you.
And the only place Nix is planning to go is back to the inn unless we get pulled another direction. So
Yep. You guys make your way to the inn. Team Inn. Is there anything you're doing, Keld, during this time?
Keld's just biding his time with them. He's come to a decision for when they do head back to town or back home. So he's just waiting for Nix.
Okay.
20 questions time.
Eventually, Nix, Russ, and a halfling woman enter into the space. A halfling woman wearing Nix's clothes. Come in. Russ and Brynja sort of take a moment and like go to talk to each other.
and Nix would go to the table with Keld then.
Yeah.
She's not going to eavesdrop.
So that's what you're up to? Wow.
I'm glad she wanted to come back.
Glad she was able to.
So,
How do you...
how do I feel about what, Keld? What?
He was just going to ask about that, but...
Which one?
The whole resurrection thing.
Like how she did it?
Well, just how she felt about it.
And she wanted to come back, so I'm glad I was able to.
Yeah, I feel like if you explained how you did it, I'd
She'll
Just let
try.
me know.
She'll explain the whole thing.
Oh God.
How there were giant mushrooms that
Yeah.
New
That
Britannia
birthed
was
a
birthed
woman.
out of.
The mushrooms birthed the woman.
Mm.
Sounds amazing.
I kind of hope you won't be able to see it again, but if it happens again, I can invite people.
Let's hope we don't have to.
So have you just been sitting here the whole time?
Yeah.
Are Gunhild and the Hot Iron at a different table? That's Keldon by himself in the room.
I just don't know if Keld would have like gone and sat next to them or not.
Yeah,
'Cause,
that's
I
what I
mean,
want to know.
Probably not.
yeah,
Mm.
yeah, they're just sitting at a table and talking. Keld, are you doing any eavesdropping?
He's trying.
I would say just based on your base level perception. It almost seems nicer to use that than make you roll perception. But it seems like a pretty casual conversation they're having. You do get to realize from their conversation that the Hot Iron knows about Ing.
Interesting.
So he is aware that Ing is also here. That there is a man in
That's
her
good.
head that is also here.
That's
and
good.
so knows about that.
Neat.
And eventually the rest of the team will come back to the everyone's at the hard fiddle.
Can I reach out to Egil before I get back?
Sure.
I would say I think I can call the magic needed to bring Fen and Nana to Galunder. Would you rather I waited for you? Be safe.
Oh, if you don't need the circle details for me and you were just asking permission, then please go ahead. I cannot join you at this time.
Then Roshan will message back and say, I should be able to keep in touch more. I can't wait to see you there.
See you soon.
And then Roshan will go back and tell his friends we can go back to Galunder tonight, probably, I think. And then to like Nyx and Keld, there isn't. Do you need anything? I think Roshan just feels awkward now that we're not on a big quest together. So he's like, well, I think we're going back to Galunder, and I assume you'll be going to the woods, but you're always welcome in my home.
And at some point, eventually, I'm going to need to return Hell's Dowry to Temple of Scotty, and I believe Finn is going to need to discuss some matters there as well.
Things that need to be dealt with there as well. I have this bow. It was lent for a purpose. That purpose is done. Love to retrieve Rufio, and I called upon the aid of Scotty and made some promises, and I know no closer place than that temple to reach out and see what's required of me. So at some point, once we've been home to Galenda, to the library, maybe we could reconvene somewhere, make a trip there. Obviously, no one's obligated to go. I just can't get there alone.
All right.
I can get you guys there when you're ready.
I'm certain we'll be able to message.
Nix, make a list of things at the library that you need. Any hunches you have, questions specific that you want answered. I've seen into his eyes when he's like that. I've got something to go on, but you've got a much deeper understanding of what might be afflicting him, and I just want to make the most of my time there.
Oh, sure. She'll tell him everything she is potentially knows about this smoke, which I don't think is actually more than anyone really else does.
Just
That
what
she
we've
thinks
been able
it's-
to observe.
Yeah, just that she thinks it's keeping him alive, and
He
it's some
can't
kind
die.
of yeah, he can't die
Because of it. Don't know why.
That's what it
It makes
looks like.
it makes it look like all that worrying at the party was for nothing, doesn't it? Doesn't it make it seem that way? Maybe he died at the party. Anywho,
Maybe.
so y'all are parting ways, or Roshan, go ahead.
Yeah, I think Roshan just after this slides in next. Well, doesn't just is at his own table and talks to Nyx through his mind because he can do that, and doesn't want to worry Nana. So he's like, I'm confident in my abilities to get us home, but could you please watch over us because I'm not confident that Nana can get there. So if you'd let us leave first, I'd feel better that she wasn't, I don't know, stranded or worse.
Well, that was in her mind. She can't respond. So just casually say out loud. Yeah, I think we'll just make sure that you guys leave safely, and we'll go afterwards with everybody else.
Thank you.
Plus, maybe if you guys like when you travel, maybe I'll scry on you afterwards. You go find a tree, and then I can get there. That
Brilliant.
sounds
Perfect. And then you'll have an instant way back over there. No trouble.
Yes. So we will be transported into the middle of town.
Right. Are there not trees in the middle of your town?
No, there aren't. There's a naked flaming statue with gold cracks. And I don't think you can use that to travel through. So
Let me know when you're by a tree.
If you wait until it takes you 10 minutes to cast, correct?
Something like that.
Then just don't start casting until we've left, and I will go find a tree.
I've got one in mind.
Okay. Keld, you'll have to hold Goose while I cast it. He can't stay in the pot.
Is that? Oh,
Goose.
that's Goose.
Well, hold on.
Oh.
He's terribly wet and
Goose.
terribly cold. He smells bad.
I don't know if he's okay.
He does not smell the best.
He just sort of is hanging limply in your hands, Keld. You're holding him like this, and he's just like full arch.
A look of recognition comes over Fenn's face, and he just takes a step back, just to Not an appalled step back, just a casual, fuck this thing again.
Goose just lays there blindly.
How strange.
So,
I think at this point, we've talked about it enough, but no one has started moving, and so Roshan slaps his thighs and
Yep.
says,
Well,
Nana's definitely collecting thick biscuit before we
I'll
go.
say it. Everyone their hugs before I held the icky snake.
yeah, you don't have to take him out
Yeah,
until
yeah.
we're outside, Cal. You didn't have to hold him immediately.
Perfect. Yeah, not right now.
I
Later.
wanted to know.
Yeah.
yeah, you all get to say your goodbyes
get
and
big
can hug
hugs.
each other as much as you like.
Good.
Roshan slappy thighs.
Well,
about that time.
So, Roshan,
and
how are you
then,
getting everybody home?
I think it's probably he doesn't want to be so awkward and leave right in the middle of town, draw his circle in the dirt, and have people watch him as he casts a spell, because it takes a minute. That's not so bad.
it's harder
But
to do
he
it when
also
people
knows that
watch.
Nyx and everyone are going to leave via a tree afterwards, so he'll go to the edge of town where there's some big trees. And I think the way he starts casting the teleportation circle is he stands in the middle, and almost acts like a conductor, and little shadow hands begin like tracing a wide circle around him, and then at multiple points in the circle there are different hands writing just little symbols that correspond with Egil's teleportation circle. And as he is just about finished, he'll say, all right, everyone step over this portion, like making sure you don't mess it up, and then we'll be off.
All right.
Okay. Nana, Fen, and Horse enter into the circle.
Indeed.
And Roshan will, with a flick of the wrist like a conductor, write about 3 or 4 different runes on the ground with different mage hands and send us off in his first use of the teleportation circle spell.
Mm. It is that sensation of being ripped through time and space at an aggressive level. At least you know where you are going and you are using a circle. So it is not as scary as when Rose just had to guess and try and get you places. So less likelihood of failure. I don't think there's any likelihood of failure with the circles, right? Cool. I was like, I don't think you can fuck up a circle. This man can't fuck up a circle. You are pulled through time and space, rocketing back towards the west. Nana, what a horrible sensation as it feels like your body tries to rip itself apart. And you see in front of you large white eyes as your body struggles to hold itself together and you are shunted out of the teleportation circle. You take 71 points of damage. And you are laying on the ground in front of Nyx and Keld and team. Roshan, Fen, and Horse, make it out of there.
Which horse came with us?
Thick Biscuit.
Thick Biscuit. I didn't take Hestia back with us to. No, that's somebody else's horse. That one went back to the kiln or something.
Where's the
I think
horse?
it is a cramped space in Egil's, like the room beyond Egil's office, with a horse and Fen already. And I think Roshan looks around and just says, fuck. And then will instantly sending Nyx and just say, please tell me she's all right.
Oh.
I mean, she's alive. On the ground, though.
Oh, God.
Where's Nana?
She's on the ground in front of Nyx.
Why did you leave her? What did you do?
I didn't leave her. I think this had to do something with her deal with the hag. She didn't know if she was going to be able to see the people she loves or come home, so I think it's pretty obvious that that is a way that is barred from her.
What?
She would have
least it
given
sounds like she's
letters to
okay.
Roshan, like a packet of letters to Roshan for
Oh, yeah.
people back home, just in case this happened. She was worried about it. She didn't tell Fen.
I think Roshan puts a there, I'm sorry, on Fenn's shoulder, and then does the same thing to Thick Biscuit and turns Thick Biscuit into a turtle.
Thick Biscuit's gonna fight it.
Yeah,
Great.
Nana's not
Fight
there
it,
to
Thick
help you now.
Biscuit.
Thick Biscuit says "fuck you" in
Was it
particular.
in that 20?
It was a 19 on the dice.
Jesus Christ.
Okay.
These horses don't want
sounds
nothing.
I think Roshan is now suddenly slightly afraid of the horse and says, "All right, big guy, we just got to get you out of here." In just like as soothing a voice as he can handle, and we'll cast it again.
And then he's a turtle.
Great. And then under his breath, freaking horses.
These horses are killing it.
And then we'll lead Fen out of Egil's office into the pool room, and then upstairs through Egil's hookah bar and outside, and he'll set the turtle down and let it transform back into a horse, and then we'll go. Fen, where did you say, what tree did you want to show her?
There's one that we used to play tag around. Remember back when we were younger, right down the lane.
Oh,
it's not far.
The big one.
Yeah, the big one.
And you guys take a jaunt over to the big tree.
We take a jaunt over the big tree and show Nana's favorite horse, Nana's favorite tree, and then wait for probably 30 minutes since Roshan is the only one who can sending. And we'll, after 30 minutes, we'll reach out to Nyx and be like, you got it, or do you need us to wait?
So let's jump back over to Team
Yeah.
Still and Jarlsbecker and see how that went. Nana is shunted out onto the ground. Nyx, you get your sending and you're like, yeah, she's here.
Nana just doing the Loki whale noises from Avengers.
Killed will lay some hands on you.
Oh, she's fine then.
Yeah, she'll be fine.
She'll wait until Keld's done and then hand him Goose and start to scribe.
Oh. I was worried that something might happen, but oh, that was unpleasant.
Something seemed to definitely happen.
I mean, your deal was that you couldn't go home ever again. I did hear it, remember?
Yeah, I know. I was wondering if maybe now that you were safe, it would kind of all work out in the wash. But no, it's all right. We'll figure something out. It'll be okay. Glad you waited around for me.
My favorite is Nyx being like, yes, and like slowly moving your head into it. Like, I know you're going through it. Good. I have to.
It's good.
I have to see a tree real fast. Catch me in like.
No, we
10
know,
minutes.
yeah, and it takes time to cast the thing. We get
Nana,
it.
take your 71 hit points back.
Thanks. I appreciate that. Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Nyx, you take 10 minutes. You are able to see a big, beautiful tree and just like Roshan standing near it.
She'll respond to the sending, I got it. And that's it.
Which tree was it? What's it look like?
It was a big one.
Oh, oh, I bet it was the tag tree. Oh, that makes sense. Oh, I missed that tree. It's all right.
You can come with us.
We've got a pretty good tag tree too.
Oh, all right. You'll have to show me.
And then Nix, you open up a tree.
If everyone is gathered to go, yeah.
Yep, everyone is gathered at the tree.
We will
Kelp,
gather
everyone's gathered.
Everyone's gathered at the tree. And Keld will encourage everyone through the tree.
Okay. And everyone goes through the tree. And Gunhild makes like eye contact with you as she walks through and disappears in. And all of you are back at Dem Woods, at the tree in front of your parents' house. The ladies were like, well, we don't have anything going on, and we'll just make Nix take us places if we want to leave.
Nice.
So they're like, that's easy. So they're like, sure. So they come to. Everybody returns home, and it's near immediate that your parents are aware you are back, and you can see that the Hot Iron's father was staying with them. And like they all come out and are just very excited to see you all, and just a big uproar of energy as the second you land, basically. Um, you see that your mother like puts a hand on like Russ's shoulder, and she doesn't say anything, but like squeezes it a little, and then like goes and like goes over to the ladies like, so who are you? I haven't met you yet.
Ooh, is my boy bringing home 3 girls?
3 ladies, how
Who are
exciting.
you people?
Nix will make sure at some point to tell her mom that Thor might be Keld's girlfriend. She'll make sure she knows that.
She's very excited about it.
Mhm.
Just like, I'll make something good for dinner then. And like is like, oh, okay. All right. Um, and you all arrive at your destinations, whether it was the first one you picked or otherwise. Um, the only things pressing are the things that you want to do. You have all the time in the world to the best of your knowledge. And that's where we're going to stop for tonight. Thank you all for being here. We appreciate it. We love telling you guys a story. If you'd like to keep up with us, we are at Backs of Gods on Instagram, and we are everywhere else for the Dice Cult. If you want some nice dice, you can go to the link in the chat or the link in the box below and get some beautiful dice. I'd like to say that they made horses good at things, but that's not the dice I was rolling today. Uh, that dice just was like everything else bad, horses good at not being polymorphed.
So if you want uncooperative dice, go elsewhere. But
Yeah, if you want
If you
dice
want
that
a dice,
really want to tell a story.
if you want a dice that's like, hey, you can polymorph a horse, head over to these
That's what
links.
these are for.
If you'd like to see more of this story, you can head over to youtube.com/the dice cult and watch past episodes of On the Backs of Gods. You can also watch all of our other shows, one shots, whatever you're vibing. Speaking of our other shows, on
Oh.
Thursdays, we have Gossamer Vale, which is DM'd by Katie, a Celtic mythology inspired campaign. Our heroes are off on their first adventure. We're still in the single digits of episodes, so it's an easy catch up if you're interested.
True.
Currently, they have just made a new friend out in the wild who did not kill them, and I think that's just akin to friendship, the fact that we're all not dead. So
Yeah, that
we'll
seems to
take
be the vibe a little bit.
So if you'd like to watch these new baby heroes go on their adventure, you can watch Gossamer Vale this Thursday, but not the next Thursday, but the Thursday after that, on here on Twitch, where I am now, at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you all again for being here. We appreciate it. We love telling you a story. We will be here same time, same place, Mondays at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we will see you guys next time. Good night, everybody.
Thanks for joining us, cultists.